hello, Pad, and thank you for your time. Yeah, I guess you are quite happy after this big win. So can you walk through like what is coming through your mind right now?
I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is relief. Like losing yesterday was so far below our expectations that I think everyone was just really fucking angry. Like we were just so angry with losing that game yesterday, and rightfully so, our fans. So I think coming in today and winning the way that we did, like having like not throwing massive leads, playing super aggressive League of Legends, especially in the game two, I think it relief is the big word.
And I guess you might not have the answer because it's kind of why you are like struggling right now. But how do you explain that yesterday it was kind of a hard game and today was like not easy because of course the game is never easy, but you show like very like a great skill. So what happened? Like, did you change anything?
I think we did some really hard talks with people to take ownership. Like, I think when we initially came out of yesterday, like the coaching staff felt that the reaction from the players was not big enough. Like, we were not angry enough at losing. There was not big enough emotions. So we had really big talks with the players about making sure that they come in today with like high level of energy, involve themselves in the draft, talk ahead of time in the game, and the difference from the way that they communicated and the energy levels from the whole squad from today to yesterday is like night and day. It's such a massive difference. So good job for the players for stepping up when it really mattered. Because if we lost this game, we are fucked.
I think that Nisqy mentioned on Twitter that he was going to try new things, and we can see that on the second game, like he was like someone who was like starving because he was just jumping everywhere. So do we need like to congratulate Nisqy in particular?
I think Nisqy stepped up like in communication, but also I think the way that he moved the map and the fact that he took away Rakan from Alvaro in game two, I think just massive props to him, right? Like a lot of players, if they have a performance like he did yesterday where he didn't play well and he's new to the role, would be really hard on themselves and lose confidence. But he came in like a completely different player today, right? Like he was playing the laning phase, the team fights, the skirmishes, all with full confidence.
As you mentioned, lose might be like almost elementary for the playoff run. So did you feel the pressure? And you also mentioned the fans that make like a kind of communication on the network. So did you feel the pressure?
Yeah, for sure. Like our Golden Hornets fans communicated like very directly today, right? That it is not it is not free to wear the Vitality jersey, right? It's a privilege, and if we want to wear the Vitality jersey, we need to wear it proudly. We need to show them that they can be proud of us, and they are right to be angry because we haven't showed that they can be proud of us this split yet. But hopefully, this is the beginning of us showing that to them.
I'm not totally sure about like the games that are coming, but I know that you are still need to play both KC and G2, I think. So how do you evaluate your chance of making it to the top six and to go to playoff?
I think beating Koi is a really big step. Next week we have a second big test in BDS, right? Like if we want to make top six, the teams we have to beat are probably like GX, which we did. Then it is Koi, which we did now. BDS. So I think if we beat BDS next week, it's looking good. Obviously, then we have SK, K Corp, and G2 still. And out of those three games, we need to take at least one, preferably two games.
And I know that for a coach, we often see that we talk about like long-term goals or long-term objectives. So if you don't make it to the playoff for the spring splits, is it like a very big step back, or you are still fine scaling into the summer split?
We will scale well into summer split for sure, but it's a whole different dynamic, right? Like if you don't go to playoffs now, like that's weeks and weeks and weeks of competitive play. It's my rookies missing out of best of five. It's like Nisqy missing out on best of five as a new role player. So I would say it's a massive step back if we don't make playoffs. Like I'm not gonna like pretend that it's not. We'll still scale really well because like the pieces that we have, we've shown glimpses of it, right? Like you see Nako absolutely bodying anyone that we put him up against. Chayek is performing consistently incredibly well. I think Linus had his best games. Linus had his best games in the Vitality shirt today, and that has been a long time in the making.
And do you feel that changing the roster in the middle of the seasons with Nisqy with the role swap, was it a big risk for you? And do you think that you made the right choice so far?
It was a risk, like, but it was a bigger risk not to change. With how the scrim environment was turning out, with how differently, like especially Linus and Healy, And at some point as well, the coaching staff as Hilly saw the game, the rift was too big. And we knew going onwards with Hilly, we would continue a training environment where the majority of the people would be unhappy, including Hilly. Hilly was also unhappy with how we were playing, right? So there was some risk, but I think it would have been worse to not do it.
And to go back on the fans, like, do you understand them being hungry, and do you have any like positive message to share, because you are going to play also 2 games on stage, like in France, in the K-Cup arena. So do you have any message to invite them to cheer for you and maybe to give them hope again?
All I can tell you, fans, is that I feel you, and when we lose and we play like we did versus TH, which is so far below our standard and is just not good enough to like represent Vitality, I am so angry. I was so angry after that loss. I'm angry with myself. I'm angry with my team. But I promise you, like we did from yesterday to today, we will always try to find solutions. And the pieces that we have on the team, they will shine eventually. Like, give Nako enough time, he will 1v9 games for us on a consistent basis. Give Chaik enough time, he will shot call team fights for us on a consistent basis. Give Nisqy time, he will become one of the best EU supports. Give us time. Hopefully we will give you a playoffs. We'll do everything we can. Even if we don't, we will scale. But yeah, keep trusting the process. I know it's hard when we play like shit.
And don't you feel some frustration, because of course today was almost flawless, and we can say that if your players play like that, like every day or everyday basis, you will be much more higher in the ranking. So don't you see like some frustration because of that?
Definitely. I would say like this week was our best scrim week in a long time, and the level of like aggression and gameplay that we showed in this week was very similar to the games that we had today. So the games that we had yesterday, it felt almost alien. Like it felt like I was watching a different team. I felt like we had taken a step back and were playing very similarly to how we did against Fnatic. Like when we had a lead, we were not pressing our advantages. When we fell behind, we were making desperate plays. People were not proactive in the comms ahead of time. We were having I think we counted like 6 or 7 unforced deaths in the game 1 series where we are just dying. You know, like Kasi dying on mid it's we are not used to this, you know. So even for us, like that was such a big shocker of a bad series.
In this kind of situation, maybe you can say that the confidence can be a huge factor, because sometimes you are always second guessing yourself. So how do you feel about that, and who is the one who need to give confidence to the player? Is it like you? Is it Mac? Is it the players?
Confidence is definitely a big issue. I think like you could really see it. Like I was super worried about today, because when you lose a game like we did yesterday, game 2, when you are 6,000 gold up, like it's borderline unlosable, and you lose from that position after having lost how many games in a row? 5 games in a row? That shakes your confidence, right? Like it's hard to lose 6 games in a row when you are so far ahead in the 6th game. Where the confidence comes from, honestly, I think Linas and Nisqy did such a good job of coming in and helping people step up, prepping them for today's games, taking the leadership roles on the team, and reassuring everyone that we can do this. We can play good League of Legends.
Thank you so much, Pad, and see you next time.
Thank you. See you next time.